Good afternoon. The governor says that the only limitation to opening the vaccinations to everyone May 1st is the supply. The governor was here at Rogers Park Middle School earlier today to see the vaccination clinic for child care providers.
The governor really wanted to highlight his gratitude to child care workers and see them getting vaccinated.
Early Childhood Commissioner Beth, Senator Richard Blumenthal, and Senator Julie Kushner joining Governor Ned Lamont, who received his second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine this morning. Bye says Connecticut will get about $400 million for child care from the federal government and from philanthropy. About $275 million from the American Rescue Plan signed by the president. President Biden's next focus, getting the country vaccinated, addressing the nation yesterday on the anniversary of the COVID-19 shutdown Thursday.
I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1.
Governor Lamont is optimistic.
We will open up to everybody on May 1st, as was the president's directive. By the way, we were on May 3rd, so it's a pretty easy transition for us. It's based upon how much vaccine we have, what the wait would be. But right now we're getting a lot of vaccine. A lot of people are getting vaccinated. 100 child care workers today, 1,000 teachers yesterday.
The president also plans to make a website that is more accessible for people to make appointments. Reporting in Danbury, Shara Taylor, Fox 61 News.